Balance and getting in shape, a question everyone wants to know. Can I have a balanced lifestyle and still get in and be in great shape? Which basically for most people just means, can I get rat ass and have McDonald's every weekend and still look half decent? So in this video, I'm going to talk about what having balance and getting into great shape actually looks like. But before I get into it, make sure you like this video and subscribe to the channel. Then scroll down and take a little look in the description where you're going to find 4 weeks worth of free coaching. It's going to show you exactly how to get started with your calories. There's a training plan to follow and how to actually plan around your weekends so you can still make progress. So, can you still have a balanced lifestyle and get into great shape? I don't think it's as simple as a yes or no answer to this, as it depends where you're currently at right now, what your goal is, what you're trying to achieve, where you want to get to and how quickly you want to do it. I instead think balance should change throughout a year, depending on what you're doing, how busy you are and what phase you're in. For example, if you're dieting and you're trying to lose some body fat, meaning your calories are going to be lower to put yourself into that calorie deficit to help you lose that body fat, if you're going through this phase and you're in this position, then no, I don't think you should have any balance. It's only going to make that fat loss process harder as there's not as many calories to play with. Trying to fit some balance into your fat loss phase just means it's going to take a hell of a lot longer. Where you've not got as many calories to play with, trying to fit in meals out and socials becomes very difficult. But then once the diet's done, you feel lean, you're happy with how you look, you're actually starting to look in decent shape, you're seeing some muscle definition, you then might want to push on into a lean building phase. And this is where you can afford to be a little bit more balanced as long as it's not affecting your performance in the gym too much. During the building phase, you're going to start introducing some more food into your diet, meaning fitting in maybe the odd social and some meals out, because you've got more calories now, becomes a lot easier. And even though you are going to be a little bit more balanced now, it's still important that your activity doesn't drop off too much. Your training performance stays the same, you still get your steps in, you still hit some cardio, and the extra calories you do now have don't just get used for socials, and they still get used to drive performance and to actually help you build muscle during this phase. You've got to be careful that in this phase, that balance scale doesn't tip too much the wrong way. And instead of gaining muscle, you're just going to be gaining body fat instead. A good way to measure that during this period is to make sure that your weight gain isn't much more than 1% of your body weight each month. Then there might be a period throughout the year where you are just busy. Work picks up, wedding, birthday, you might end up having kids, life might just change out of nowhere. Training might drop slightly, a little bit less activity, and all of a sudden you're a lot busier on weekends. So instead of worrying about dieting during this phase or gaining or lean building during this phase, we can just focus on maintaining. And we can call this the maintenance phase, which is just as important as the other two, but this is where you probably will have a little bit more balance. During this period, you're going to focus on doing enough to hold your condition, keep you where you're at, whilst navigating this busy period. This is where we want them balance scales to pretty much stay the same. The odd week may lean a bit more towards balance, another week comes down slightly towards less balance, but over the course of that time, you've been able to pretty much maintain your body weight and hold your condition. So, different times of year, different phases, whatever's going on in your life, balance is always going to look a little bit different. At times, you will need to pull back on being balanced and make some sacrifices to reach some goals, whether that's building as much muscle tissue as possible, losing body fat, training for a marathon, getting ready for a shoot or a competition. Then there will be times where you can afford to be a bit more balanced and have a bit more room to play with. This might not be the answer you've looked for, but I don't think there is a definitive answer to this. It depends on you, what your goals are and how important them goals are to you. How long are you prepared to take to reach said goal? This is why I work in time frames with myself and all my clients. So they know exactly when we are pushing things and having less balance to make the progress we need to make. And then when we can afford to be a bit more balanced and what we need to do during that time to still make some progress or at least maintain where they're at. So overall I'd say yes, you can have a balanced life and get into great shape, but it becomes a lot easier and will only really work if you get yourself lean and into decent shape first. So if I was you, I'd spend as much time as you need to get into that lean position to start off with. So then having some balance and actually planning that in becomes a lot easier. And if you need some help getting to that lean position to start off with, there's a link in the description with 4 weeks worth of free coaching that's going to get you started on that journey. Remember to like, subscribe, comment, share it to everyone for more videos like this. Get up there, a bosh.